9 days, everything.
Welcome everybody to Omid Yomi Shir. We are in the Omid Yomi of Dirshu, the cycle of Dirshu, Pevova Medal of Shabbos, a new Mishnah with so much exciting information. The Mishnah is yet another Mishnah that tells us the source, psukim that are giving us the source for all kinds of halachos. And what we're going to see now, we're basically starting a long sugya, fascinating sugya that details the basically the sequel of events before Matan Torah, right? There were like 6 days before Matan Torah in which people had to prepare for Matan Torah, and this is the Gemara that describes Matan Torah best than anywhere else in the Shas. This is the place. So it starts with the Lochas of Tuman Tara, goes into Matan Torah, and then goes into the Agadita of Matan Torah as well. That's a place. Pei Vav and Mud Aleph in the Mishnah. Says the Heilige Mishnah, Minayin lepoletes shechva zera b'yom hashlishi shehi tmeya. How do you know that a woman that had tashmish, now she still has the zera coming out here and there? How do you know that on the third day of her tashmish, shehi tmeya? How do you know that the zera is still metame, causes her to be tome even on the third day? She was mesamish, let's say, Wednesday, Thursday, let's say, on Friday, she's still Tomeh. How do you know that? In other words, before we continue to where do we know it from? What does it mean? What's the standard? The idea of Tomeh, Shichva Zera, Zera Zorea. Zera is only Metame if it can be fertile and bring a baby. So up to 3 days, and according to this opinion in the Mishnah, on the third day, she's still Metame. First or half of first, second and third day, the zera comes out is a zera that can potentially become a human being, and therefore it's metame. We know that the idea of tuma is anything that become life and became death is tome. So on the third day, it's still metame. From the fourth day onwards, even if she saw shichva zera coming out of her body, it's not metame because it cannot, it can't be fertile. Yeah, it can't be actualized into a person. How do you know this is true? Shenemar, it says, as I told you, this is the suga of Matan Torah. You should be ready in 3 days. Moshe Rabbeinu basically told Bnei Israel that in 3 days you will be ready to receive the Torah. Now, Bnei Israel, upon receiving the Torah, and everyone agrees the Torah was given on Shabbos morning. There's a machlokes actually if the Torah was given Vav Sivan or Zayin Sivan. Everyone says Vav Sivan, it's a machlokes. But everyone agrees, all Tanoim, we'll see later, agree that that Torah was given Shabbos morning. So on Shabbos morning, all women and all men had to be Tohar. What does that mean? For the men, go to the mikveh, Friday, Leil Shabbos, and Yendikt, and your Tohar for tomorrow, for Matan Torah. What about women? It's not simple. Let's say one goes to the mikveh first or second day, it doesn't help. Because after mikveh, she may still see the zera coming out of her body, and she's Tomeh again. She just kind of messed up the whole thing again. So if it says Shloisha Yomim, and the assumption is we're going to see the Cheshbonis in the Gemara, do you get my chart? Okay, good. So basically, the Cheshbon is on, let's say, the fourth day. I'm being vague on purpose because we're going to see all the shittis in the Gemara. Basically, Moshe Rabbeinu told them, you have to now stop having tashmish with your wives for 3 days, right? Because on the third day, if she'll go to mikveh on the third day, if Shabbos will be your third day, and they went to mikveh Leil Shabbos, all of them, they did, then, yeah, it won't help. Because let's say she had tashmish on Thursday or Friday, Leil Shabbos is the third day, in the mikveh, out of the mikveh, she sees zera, you messed up. So the fact you need three days and then mikveh means that only on the fourth day, which would be Shabbos, then she could go to the mikveh. Then even if zera will come out, doesn't make a difference. At that point, the zera is halachically dead. That's the story in general. Tessus points out that Pevav Amud Aleph, top of the page of the Mishnah, Tessus points out that Tuman Torah didn't apply to Jews before Matan Torah, right? But in Matan Torah, during Matan Torah, it did. Now, there were Tmeim who came to Matan Torah, but Tzohoim, they didn't have the whole process, or Zavim. Tosfos says that Dafka Zera, for men and women, you have to be more careful when you receive the Torah, because Zera comes from Kalusua, Tashmish. The day of Zera has to do with the Kalus Roish of Tashmish. You have to be like out of that mindset and into the mindset of receiving the Torah, right? And therefore, they're more makpid on that. Now, second halacha with the source, minayin shemarchitzin esamila b'yom hashlishi shechal yos b'Shabbos. Halacha number 2. How do you know that a baby may be washed with hot water that was heated on Shabbos? Why? Because although it's the third day, baby had the Mila on, let's say, Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. The third day to the Mila is Shabbos. You still wash the baby with hot water because he needs the hot water against hygiene to kill the germs. Because the Mila on the third day there are three opinions. Either, I just remember seeing everything today in the Mishnah, Rishonim, I don't remember who says what. Either Rashi says, even on the third day, it's still dangerous. 3 days into the Mila, 1, 2, 3, it's still dangerous. Only the fourth day will be okay. The Rambam says, the Pirush Mishnah is, on the third day, it's the most dangerous because it congeals more, like it accumulates and becomes more congealed, more messy, something like that. So you have to wash it well. And Samashan, I think the Ran brings an opinion, pretty sure, that on the third day, it's more dangerous. Mamish on the first and second, not back on the third day. Not still. Mamish more even than the Rambam. The kids are, but the third day, the baby is still in danger because of the bris milah, and you're allowed to heat hot water. There's no hot water. You didn't prepare it before. Why not? Good question. Now you need hot water to wash the baby. We know that it kills the germs, right? How do you know that the third day is still cold or dafka cold, dangerous, that it's a sakana, choyle shesh b'sakana? Shenema, v'yibayom hashlishi b'yasem koyavim, in the story of Dinah, right? So, you know, the good brothers of Dinah who cared about her, the Levi, right? Shimon and Levi, they went to the entire male population of Shechem when? Dafka on the third day, when it hurt the most, or it still hurt, or they were weaker. Some say the third day is still dangerous, as much as the first and second, plus they're like, they accumulate all the tiredness, right? So on the third day, it's more dangerous or still okay, fine. 1 second. Yes, Baruch Hashem. Okay. Okay. Third one. Third idea with the source. Minayin. How do you know? Yeah. Minayin shekoishrin loshen shel zehoiris. How do you know that on Yom Kippur? Minayin shekoishrin loshen shel zehoiris b'rosh seira mishtalech. How do you know that on the horns of the seira mishtalech, the seir lazozo in Yom Kippur, right? There were 2 goats. One they would send lazozo far away, like Yud Besmil, far away to the midbar, throw him off the cliff. The other one, before that they would shecht. How do you know that there was a red string that was attached to the horns of the seir mishtalech? And then what happened? If Hashem forgave them, he turned white. Originally, the Mishnah says in Yuma, the red string was on the door of the Heichal, a very, 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 noticeable place. Basically like a big street sign. But then, in the times after Shimon HaTzadik died, many times the red stayed red, didn't turn white. And people felt very sad and scared, so they did it more intimate. they just put the red thing on the horns of the Seir HaMishtaleach in the midbar. So only the guy who took care of the Seir, only he would know if it turned red or white. So it wasn't so evident. I mean, he would tell whoever wanted to know, I guess, I don't know, but it wasn't so in your face. But the concept is that there's an idea of a red string going and turning white. It doesn't say it anywhere in the Torah. Yeah, I challenge you, go through the entire Achrei Mos, the whole, very detailed. It doesn't say that you put a red string anywhere, right, in order to see if it turns white. But how do you know? So where's the source? How do you know you do that? Shenema, it says, Im yiyu chatoichem kashonim, kasher legel binu. The Navi, this week's Parsha, this week's Haftarah, yes, Chazain. This week's Haftarah we're going to read, right? What are we going to read? The Yeshayahu says, if your sins will be like shanim, like red, they'll become as white as snow. Just do tshuva. Do tshuva and bring Mashiach. Your red string, your red shani, your red, the red of Eros, full of taiva, yetzirah, will become pure as snow. So you see, that's a source. The red turns into white, and they took that and adapted it to the Yom Kippur ceremony. Fourth halacha, minayin l'sicha she'ikashtir b'Yom Kippurim. Another halacha relating to Yom Kippur. How do you know that sicha, that smearing oil, yeah, anointing yourself, smearing creams and oils? How do you know that it's considered like drinking on Yom Kippur? How do you know that it's as osir as drinking? Yeah, it's not exactly true, by the way. I'm going to explain soon. But how do you know it's osir? And it's a derivative of drinking. You're not allowed to drink on Yom Kippur. That's mefurish. Inui. How do you know you're not allowed to smear yourself nicely with, I don't know, creams or Vaseline, let's say? Even though there's no clear proof, there's a zecher, there's a hint to it in Tehillim. In Tehillim, it says a hint to the idea, Shenema, v'tova b'mayim bekir boy, v'keshemen b'atzmoisov. It should come to him like water in his innards and like oil in his bones. A few things have to be explained here. First of all, don't get too excited. Sicha is not exactly like shtia, meaning if you eat and drink on Yom Kippur, you get puris, laini, the Day of Atonement, eat and drinking, b'mezid, shiur, kazai, slavis, you get kores. What about sicha? Nilas sandal, tashem shemita? No. You don't get kores. It's a big nidor in Machlokes Rishonim in the Ran. I remember the end of Yuma, if it's the Oraisa, just no kores, or the Rabbanon. Yes, a big nidon over there with a lot of right direction, but it's not as bad. The idea is a concept. The reason why we can't do sicha, who invented that? That is because there's similarity in the pasuk between sicha and water. Yeah. Now, why is the Mishnah saying over here that it's not a clear source? It's only an illusion. All these sources are not 100%, right? It's all a smachtas. Says Taisus because this pasuk talks about washing. Yeah, washing and smearing is similar. Yeah, okay. So anyway, we're not talking about drinking. So it's like an allusion to the illusion. Yeah. In other words, washing is when water comes into the pores of the body, right? And sicha is like that, and both of them are similar to drinking. It's more indirect to say that. The main issue today and tomorrow and the day after tomorrow is that Tumas Zera with the reflection of Matan Torah. So before we open the charts, let's see how the Gemara, first of all, deals with the technicality of the Mishnah. The beginning of the Mishnah, we saw two dinim. Let's just read. There were four dinim in the Mishnah. We're going now to find some trouble, some kind of contradiction between the first and the second, although they have nothing to do with each other. The first one is about the woman who emits Shichva Zera from her body. Naturally, it kind of runs out of her body. And what did we say? That on the third day, she's still tameh, on the third day. Only on the fourth day, she'll be okay. And the second halacha said that a baby can be washed on the third day and should be washed with hot water on the third day because the third day of the Milah is still dangerous. What does that have to do one with the other? Water, anybody? Yeah, brought for everybody. It's not the Heilige Gemore. Reisha de lo kablozo ben Azaria. Thank you, Tzadik. Reisha de lo kablozo ben Azaria. Sefer kablozo ben Azaria. Very simple. The Reisha, we're going to see soon, and if you saw the chart, Ablozo ben Azaria thinks, thank you, that on the third day, the woman is Tohar. Yeah? On the third day, she is Tohar. Day number 1 passed, number 2 passed from the Tashmish. On the third day, she's as good as gold. So Ablozo ben Azaria is not the author of the Reisha that said that only on the fourth day she's clean. Ablozo ben Azaria is not that. And Seifa, meaning the story with the baby that has to be washed on the third day of the Milah, that does follow the opinion of Ablozo ben Azaria. So that's a problem. Dika Ablozo ben Azaria, Tehoira Shamanali. Ablozo ben Azaria says that on the third day she is Tohar, right? So Bekitzer, the question is, the Mishnah seems to be kind of jumping around between being like holding like Ablozo ben Azaria and not holding Ablozo ben Azaria. So how do you explain that? Yeah, says the Gemara, this is a big yesod b'chol Torah kula baruch atah. Amen. Yeah, we have a Mishnah that is, it's called in English, inconsistent. The first part of the Mishnah follows not Ablozo ben Azaria. The second part is just him. He's the one who says it. By the way, there's a whole parak that talks about the story of Milah, Ablozo the Milah. It's the parak later on, Daf Kuf Lamed onwards. And there he says it, Mefurash. He is the author who says, yes. I'm the one who says that the third day can wash the baby with hot water. So the Mishnah is inconsistent. Now there are two ways to deal with it. And says the Gemara, Man deloy muki ketanoi tana reisha tehoira umuki lalekula kablozo ben Azaria. Let me explain. Whenever we have such a shtoch, such a mess in the Mishnah, there are two ways to go about it. Some Tanoim loy muki ketanoi. They would never ever agree to break up the Mishnah and say one part of the Mishnah is Rabbi X, the other part is not. Loy muki ketanoi. They're not muki. They don't explain the Mishnah to be two different Tanoim, unless the Mishnah says before. But if the Mishnah doesn't outright says opinion X and Y, this Mishnah is all anonymous, right? It doesn't say who's the author of the Mishnah, right? So you can't just break it up. You must be that the words of the Mishnah are wrong. Tana reisha tehoiro. Wow. They have to change a word in the Mishnah and say, it's the real version of the Mishnah. If the second part of the Mishnah is Blazer ben Azariah, then the first part must be also Blazer ben Azariah. And therefore, the first part of the Mishnah, the Reisha says tehoiro, like a Blazer ben Azariah. We're going to twist the Mishnah to be like a Blazer ben Azariah. In other words, when we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, we prefer to change a word in the Mishnah, just one word, Tohir or Tmeah, to make it fit into Blazer ben Azariah, and then the Mishnah is consistent and flows with one Tana. According to the opinion that says that no, we can tolerate different Tanoim in one Mishnah, although it's all anonymous. Life is good, so pluralistic. Reisha is Rabbanon, namely Rabbi Shmuel, as we'll see later. And the Sefer is Blazer ben Azariah. Why didn't the Tana say the names? Because Adita Kasha. Go ask him. That opinion is not so bothered by having different opinions with one Mishnah. Order? Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Tana Bonon. Here comes fun. Oh, I'm sorry that the screen is shaking. The screen is shaking because Matan Torah, the world was shaking, so we're about to experience Matan Torah here. Tana Bonon. Poletes Shichva Zera. Poletes Shichva Zera B'yom HaShlish Tohera Divrei Blazer ben Azariah. Which means, before we continue, I want to remind you what you learned when you were a Chasanim, yeah? And that is, when it comes to Nida, every day, but in English you call it 24 hours day, which in Hebrew called Yemama, by the way. Yeah, Yemama is a 24 hours day. You call it day. What's day in English? Daytime and also day and night together, 24 hours a day. You notice this is stira. Basically, every day contains two oines, right? It's for everything, right? All the halachas of Nida. Oin of night and oin of day. Okay, every day, as we see in the chart soon, is divided to two units: daytime and nighttime. Very nice. Now comes the Blazer ben Azariah and says, a woman who had tashmish, and on the third day from the tashmish, she was perlashich v'zera. She's still tehoiro. She's still good. Diva Blazer ben Azariah. Says Rashi, and here I'm moving to the chart, and I hope you have it. The chart says as follows, the following Rashi. Let's say on Leil Shabbos, let's follow the Matan Torah script. Leil Shabbos, everybody goes to mikveh. All the ladies that had tashmish recently, they may all kindly go to the local mikveh near Har Sinai, whichever spring they had there. Go to the mikveh dunkin', the mikveh, and obviously when you come out, you should be in a situation that even if the Shichva Zera reappears, it's nothing. Otherwise, didn't gain anything. Why didn't they go to the mikveh Shabbos day? Excuse me, Shabbos day, the Torah was given Shabbos morning. They slept all night, right? That's the whole thing. Because they didn't want it to be like a, as my Hasidic nephews say, no offense, Hasidic shalashudas, they didn't want it to be messy. Like some people go to the mikveh, some go to Matan Torah. Everyone should be ready. Everybody should be ready, yakish, everybody should be there on time, already tohar. Halal utoivlin or not, no. Everyone should be already ready and tohar, pure, as morning breaks, as morning comes. Therefore, mikveh was Friday night. Now, let's say a woman had tashmish Thursday. According to Blazer ben Azariah, it's God's good, it's okay, it's no problem. Why? Because Friday, not Shabbos, is the third day from Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Shabbos. Oh, what? Yes. According to Blazer ben Azariah, as long as you have the entire Friday full, when he says 2 days, right, the third day she's okay. Day 1, day 2, she had tashmish. She had tashmish on day 1, which is Thursday. Friday passes, she's still tameh, with the zera coming out. Shabbos, she's okay. What about if in the middle of Thursday she had tashmish? right before Shkia, before Friday, before Leil Shishi, it's still okay. Rabbi Lezer says, when I say 2 days, I really mean 1 point something. Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah believe in fractions. Rabbi Lezer ben Azariah and Rabbi Shmuel will see, they believe that a day or part of the day is as good as one whole day. So therefore, you can have 2 oines, Friday night, Friday day. You can have 3 oines, right? Third, the middle of the day, Shetashmish. Or even if she had Tashmish, the beginning of Leil Chamishi, then she has a whole Chamishi. It does make a difference. As long as either the entire Thursday or part of Thursday was Tashmish, but she finished the Tashmish 5 minutes before the end of Thursday, so she has 1 whole day Friday, and she has a fraction of Thursday, that's good enough. 1 point X is equal to, in his math. How come? I thought it's to do with embryology. I only know this word because my shver had a friend, embryologist. That's why I know this word. Yeah, it's to do with the sperm. No, halacha believes in what mikta sayon kechulon, and that's halacha. Since Thursday or part of Thursday was clean, she finished a tashmish before the end of Thursday, right? That's considered a whole day. Mikta sayon kechulon. 5 minutes she finished and she wiped before the end of Thursday. That's a day of 5 minutes, like in Shiva. Then she has the whole of Friday. That's a God's whole day. Leil Shabbos, she's fine already. It's either 2 days or 1 point something. It's very simple. It's simplified very easily. That's Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. Now comes Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Shmuel basically argues with him on 1 point and agrees with him on the other. Rabbi Shmuel Omer, Rabbi Shmuel, I'll tell you what Shmuel says before we read him, just make it easier for you. Rabbi Shmuel says, I think like Elazar ben Azariah when it comes to fractions. Elamai. Rabbi Shmuel, I hold like the Mishnah. What did the Mishnah say? That on the 3rd day, she's still tameh. So what does Rabbi Shmuel require? 2 whole days. And the first day of the Tashmish can be a fraction. In our story, I'm not looking at the chart. Wednesday, she had Tashmish at any point on Wednesday. As long as she finished the Tashmish before the end of Wednesday, she has a shtick, clean day, meaning without Tashmish, right? Wiped, clean. And so that's part of the day. It's literally a fraction of the day. That's called a day. Another full day, let's say Thursday. Another full day Friday. Mazel tov. 2.1 is like 3. Same concept as Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, but just 1 more day. And he's the Tana of our Mishnah. The Yom HaShlishi, excuse me, no, Yom HaShlishi is still Tmeya, sorry, is Rabbi Shmuel. Only the 4th day, Shabbos is the 4th day from Wednesday, Shtik Wednesday, part of Wednesday, or all of it. Thursday, Friday, 1, 2, 3. Shabbos, she's good to go. Mikveh, and then if she has tons of Zera coming out, no problem. Now, Rabbi Shmuel, as opposed to the first opinion, just elaborates more. And he says like this. He's giving us more details. Sometimes you have only 4 full oines. Friday, I'm counting 10 backwards. 10, 9, 8, like, we're NASA, 10, 9, 8. In other words, Friday day, Friday night, right? Thursday day, Thursday night, and she was Mishamish just before Thursday night. Wednesday late afternoon, 1 second, give me a second. So she only has Daled Oines and she's good to go. She has Daled Oines plus a few minutes after Tashmish.
It's Friday then Friday night. Don't you mean Friday night then Friday day?
No, I'm counting backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That would be Friday then Friday day, then Thursday night and Thursday day.
Yes, I'm counting backwards. We want her to be clean on Shabbos. So now I'm calculating, why is this lady going to mikveh Friday night? Friday, Leil Shabbos, being ready tomorrow for Matan Torah. Because you know how many clean oinets she had? She had Friday day, Leil Shishi, Thursday, Leil Chamishi. And right before Leil Chamishi, Wednesday, late afternoon, she had Tashmish, finished 5 minutes before. Those 5 minutes are like a whole day. Yes, it requires 3 days, but 3 in his numbers is 2 point something. Same concept as was ben Azariah, just different numbers. And then he continues. Why is it hey oinois? Sometimes she has more. She was mishamish Wednesday lunch. Yes, she was mishamish. No, Wednesday before night. She has the whole of Wednesday night plus the other 4 oinois. She was mishamish at the beginning of the night of Wednesday. right? So she has the whole of Wednesday or most of Wednesday night, Wednesday day, Thursday to Oines, Friday to Oines, good to go. But basically, it's just saying in a longer way that any fraction is okay as long as she has 2 full days for Onos, 2 full days, plus something at the beginning. It's better if you work backwards because we have to have our eyes on Friday night. It's a very good way because the Gemara is going to compare it soon. Trust me. Are we good? Even without the chart, you guys are going. I'm showing the charts to people on Torah anytime. Tameh, the whole of Shuz Meshamish Wednesday, a bit before Shkia or a long time before Shkia. Any point of Thursday of Wednesday is okay, right? As long as you finish Tashmi before the end of Wednesday, we have a bit of a clean Wednesday. It's all I need. Then an entire Thursday, entire Friday, that's called 3 days. Yes, 2 point something is like 3. Very nice. Now that's in. Come to Rabbi Akiva. Now, Rabbi Akiva, no. Rabbi Akiva argues on the whole concept. Le'olam hey. She always needs 5 oinos. Says Rabbi Akiva, I don't believe in this business of fractions. No. She needs full 5 oinos. She needs, before she goes to mikveh Friday night, right? She has to stop her tashmish, have her last tashmish, 5 full clean onos. She has to have Friday day, Leil Shishi, Chamishi, Leil Chamishi, right? And Wednesday, the entire Wednesday. Last time she can be Mishamish is Wednesday before dawn. Yes. She has to have 5 oinas, 2.5 days, 2 full days and 1 half day. The whole of Friday clean, the whole of Thursday clean, and half of Wednesday, meaning Wednesday day. You know, in Aloha, the day starts by night, as we all know. Every Shabbos happens to be, right? The Erev Voiker. Says Rabbi Kiva, I don't go with this business of days. No. You have to have Yekish 5 oinos, 2.5 days. Now, to that point, listen to Rabbi Kiva says, there's, in other words, let's say some of the oino she was mishamish when. Let's say she was mishamish Wednesday, a little bit before the beginning of after the beginning of the day. She was mishamish half an hour after sunrise. So she has to pay for it Friday night. Another half hour, she'll have to wait Friday night before dunking in the mikveh. It's that yekish. She literally, yes. There are no reductions here. That's what the Ravid says. You need, you had your tashmish, not punkt Wednesday. You don't have a full Wednesday day clean. You are mashamish half an hour into Wednesday day. Let's say Wednesday started at 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Hellos. She was mashamish with her husband 5:30, right? And then she was after Tashmish, 5:35. She has to pay, she pushes now, she'll have to pay for it Friday night. She'll only go to the mikveh when? Only 35 minutes after Shkia, or after Tzes. It mamish has to be Yekish, 5 oinas. Yeah, that's Rabbi Akiva. Very different to them. So now, why? We're going to see why soon. But he doesn't believe in Mitzvah Yom Kichul, it seems to be. Well, usually it works. But here he doesn't. Yeah, there's no Mitzvah Yom Kichul by him. She has to have real time. Well, I believe that Goyish science would agree with Rabbi Akiva more, right? Either the sperm is dead or alive. The sperm only dies after 5 oinos, from minute to minute. That's Rabbi Akiva. I'm saying Balabatish, but that seems to be Mesaber Soizen. Now, frag the Gemara. Now, welcome to Matan Torah. Up until now, the Gemara didn't say Matan Torah. Now we're going to combine this whole business with the dates of Matan Torah. Amru Rabbanon Kameder of Pope. Rabbanon said this in front of Rav Pope. Or Rav Pope said this to Rav. It's a question. Before we continue, let's just refresh our memories. As I said, everyone agrees that there's machloikes. There's a machloikes about. I'm choosing my words. Both Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanon, which we'll see later, they both agree that the Torah is given on Shabbos. There's a machlekes whether the Torah is given Vav Sivan or Zayin Sivan, but everybody agrees that the Torah is given on Shabbos morning. Now, we all know that Moshe Rabbeinu told them that they have to Al Tigshu El Isha. Moshe Rabbeinu came down from the mountain speaking to Kadosh Baruch Hu, that's big, and he told them, hey guys, stay away from your wives, deadline, that's it. Because now if you'll be Mishamish, you'll be too late, right? Good. The question is, when did that happen? Did that happen on Thursday or Wednesday? That's a question. Now let's see. Yeah. Frag the Gemara. Bishlam Reb Elazar ben Azariah kirabonon. Reb Elazar ben Azariah, his shita regarding tomb of Zera fits very well to the historical opinion of Matan Torah of Rabbanon regarding when was Torah given. Damri, behei ovid prisha, which means, according to Elazar ben Azariah, very good. On Thursday, Moshe Rabbeinu told them, I repeat, on Thursday, Moshe Rabbeinu told them, hey guys, prisha, hey, stay away, separate rooms, separate the beds, got finished. On Thursday. What do you mean on Thursday? Yes. According to Elazar ben Azariah, amazing. Why? According to Elazar ben Azariah, you need 2 days and not full days. You need 2 days of what? 1 full day. And the first day could be a fraction. Also, nice. So on Thursday, Moshe told them, at some point today, either morning, lunch, or before evening, you got to stay away from your wives, right? So you have some clean fraction of day Thursday, entire Friday clean, and Friday night, Leil Shabbos would be good to go. Dunk in the mikveh, the ladies, very nice. And Rabbi Shmuel, Rabbi Yossi, the Omar Bedaled Ovid Prisha, Rabbi Yossi, oy vavoy. Rabbi Shmuel works very well like Rabbi Yossi, the Omar Bedaled Ovid Prisha. Rabbi Yossi believes, and we're going to see a lot of that later. Rabbi Yossi argues on Chachamim, and he says that the whole conversation and the commandment to stop being with your wives, stay away from your wives, was on Wednesday. And he told them, it's now Wednesday morning it was, you'll see later. At any point of day, you should stop being with your wives. Amazing. That's exactly Rabbi Shmuel. Any point of Wednesday is either the whole of Wednesday, Mehader, part of Wednesday, lo mishaneh. As long as you have a shtick Wednesday clean, then the whole of Thursday, the whole of Friday, good. 3, which is 2 point something, very nice. El Rabbi Akiva stuck. Kiman. According who does Rabbi Akiva go? In other words, says Rashi, when you read the psukim, it says yom. It doesn't say hours. It says bayom hashlishi, bayom haravi, bayom hachamishi. It doesn't say anything about hours. Plus, we always know about the halachic concept of miktsasem techuloi. Anybody said Shiva? Finish Shachris, 2 minutes, and goodbye, and you're still sad about your father. Oh, so where did Rabbi Akiva take this honest business from, right? Moshe Rabbeinu is telling them, today you have to finish, today, any point of the day. And yet Rabbi Akiva is particular and says, no, I don't believe in fractions. You have to have 5 owners. Where did Rabbi Akiva take it from? Yeah. Zog the Gemara, Lolam Rabbi Yossi. What does it mean? Rabbi Akiva holds that Rabbi Yossi, the what? That on the 4th day, on Wednesday, he told them to stop. I thought Wednesday is any point of Wednesday. No. Kidama Ravada Barava, we are joining Ravada Barava to help Rabbi Akiva. Moshe Bashkama Olo Bashkama Yorad. Moshe Rabbeinu, whenever he spoke to Hashem, and whenever he went down from the mountain, it was always in the morning. Yeah? And therefore, it wasn't stam, because morning is a nice, crispy time to converse with Hashem. Here, there's a halachic reason. Moshe Rabbeinu went down Wednesday morning on purpose. And he told them, now you have to stop. So very good. That's Rabbi Akiva. You have to have Wednesday morning. Don't stop whenever you feel like, and you can still have one more tashmish before Matan Torah. Sorry, guys and girls, stay away. Wednesday morning, I'm getting up Ashkama on purpose because Wednesday morning is when you got to stop right there and then. Because you have to have an entire full oino of Wednesday day, Thursday, Friday, 5 full oines Rabbi Akiva. And dafka be'ashkama, that's the purpose. Yeah? How do you know that this is true? The Moshe Rabbeinu always went b'ashkama. Dichtiv, it says, and by the way, this posuk is about luchos shniyos. The second luchos, it says in Kitisa, v'yashke Moshe b'batya v'yalal har Sinai. Yeah, Moshe Rabbeinu went up to Har Sinai the second time when b'ashkama, early in the morning. B'ashkama yorad. How do you know he always went down to speak to the people? Early morning. Dichtiv lech red v'alisa ata v'aronimach. Yeah, it says you and Aaron go red v'alisa. Did you hear that? Go down and go up, right? Maki sherida la'aliyah. The pasuk compares, the pasuk juxtaposes going up and going down. Ma'aliyah b'ashkama, just like we saw in Parshas Kisisa in the second Luchos, when Moshe goes up, it's always early in the morning. Af yerida b'ashkama. So too, when he goes down from Shemayim to talk to the people and give them the tzibui, it's purposefully in the morning, and therefore that's Rabbi Akiva for you. He believes like Rabbi Yossi that the warning was on Wednesday, the Pesha was on Wednesday, but as opposed to Rabbi Shmuel, he doesn't believe that it's any time. Okay, guys, you still have some time to chop another tashmish. I'm coming down in the morning to tell you guys Wednesday morning deadline, because you have to have the whole of Wednesday clean right from when I'm telling you early in the morning. The whole Wednesday got to be clean, plus full Thursday, full Friday. 5 onuses will be Akiva. Now we could summarize, but I'm always nervous about finishing the Omud. So let's first finish the Omud. Why did Moshe have to tell them, B'chlal, this is good with, this question really applies to everybody, all opinions, especially Rabbi Akiva. Why did he have to tell them to stop the tashmish during the day? Yeah, do you think that otherwise they would be mishamish during the day? The Ha'omar Ravuna says, Israel Kedoshim ven mishamshim l'tosein bayoim. Israel are naturally holy people, and they don't do tashmish mita during the day. And therefore, why did he have to warn them? Anyhow, they would not do they wouldn't actually do tashmish during the day. So why does he have to warn them? They have the kedusha. That's a question. Of course, I'm asking the question, they're not yet from. They're not yet with Matan Torah, not yet really Jewish. The Tosfos says something, maybe come to answer my question. Look at the last Tosfos. Last Tosfos in the page. They would anyhow stop the tashmish before daytime. The Omar, it says, a person who's who behaves in a prof way, in a belittling way, is going to die, and they were scared of it. In other words, it's not a halacha, it's an hogo. It became a halacha. It's like, you don't want to have short lives, you don't do tashmish during the day. The Kohen Kedoshim, Hashem already called them before Matan Torah, you're going to be Kodosh. So they already were in the mindset of Kedusha, even before they received the Torah. Gerim, right? Even before he's fully Jewish, he's very committed and very excited. He's into the atmosphere of Kedusha. They were like Gerim, the last process. So they're already in them. But the question is there. Why does he have to warn them about tashmish in the day? Any other wouldn't do it. So the Gemara, no, there are ways you're allowed to do it halachically. If the house, meaning the room, is completely dark, you have very dark curtains, and it's dark, then it's allowed. Because really the idea of during the day is you shouldn't look at your wife, she shouldn't look at you during tashmish. I saw the Mishnah board now just to make sure. They want to, it's very scary stuff. So that's really the main idea. So as long as the room is really, really dark, it says only if the person is really, if the Yetzer is very strong, he feels like he has this attack of Yetzer, him, her, both, whatever, then they can do it in the day with mamish very dark curtains. So you see a mitzvah that it can be allowed. That's why Moshe had to warn them. A Talmid Chochem, meaning, not necessarily somebody who knows Shas, Talmid Chochem is the person who naturally would not look at his wife because he's more tsanua. So he's even allowed to do it in a lit room as long as mafil betalisoi. As long as their bodies are completely covered with a blanket, then it's allowed. Yeah. Therefore, in such a situation, there are situations where tashmish shemita in the day is conceptually could be okay. Therefore, Moshe had to warn them and tell them, I'm not taking chances because you're going to be late to Matan Torah. Some things you just can't miss. Like the flight to your own chasana kind of thing, yeah? Can't miss Matan Torah. So you have to have 5 full oinus. I gotta go now. Thank you to everybody on Torah to Anytime. Thank you for the Torah Anytime staff that helped me today. Atzlocha, and thank you to those who watch us on YouTube and only watch Shiurim and Kedusha on YouTube. Atzlocha.